friends, I hope you all are doing good. You all must be thinking where I was from so long. Due to some personal issues, I was not getting time to create videos, but now I am back with full energy and I will make sure I am creating content for all of you to learn about Java language. That is why I was thinking of creating a series of core Java concepts in which I will first prepare the videos covering all concepts of core Java and then we will move to a full stack developer course. So this is the very first video of the series and I am going to start with very first topic, that is class and objects, because they are the backbone of programming language. The main focus of my videos is to make sure that who is very new to programming should also be able to love and learn coding. So let's start with Java. Before moving further, let's first understand why we are using Java as a programming language. So, why Java? Because Java is simple. Java mainly deals with object oriented. We will talk about what exactly object oriented means. Java is platform independent. It is also secure, portable, and we can use it in a distributed systems. It is more robust and it gives us high performance. Along with it, we can also have a multi-threaded environment created within Java which we can use for multiple things. Slowly and steadily we will talk about all these topics, but for today let's start with class and objects. Along with class and objects, we are going to talk about OOPS basic paradigm that we call as abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. We will talk about all of them in detail, but let's start with class and objects. So, what exactly a class is? If we go with a definition, class means a template or a blueprint where we are going to create multiple objects. It can have a group of similar objects inside it. A class can contain anything. It can contain your data variables or data members. We will talk about what exactly these are, but as of now, think about a class is a blueprint where we are going to put multiple things in it. Along with this, we will also learn about object. So what exactly an object is? Object is an instance of a class. What does that exactly means is, object is a sub part of a class which we normally use to create it or to call all the member variables that we have inside a class. So we won't be going much in the theory. Let's start with practical example. So let me show you how and why we create a class. So right now I have created a sample project with the name of test project within my Eclipse. So this is my variable. This variable is a class. So in Java, how we normally create a class? You have to give it with the keyword class and then the variables. Here I have also added a new keyword, that is public. You will get to know more about this, what exactly this public means. But as of now, consider this is a keyword which we have placed before my class. So in Java, to create a class, what we are going to use is, we are going to use the keyword class and then my class name. Inside this, we can have multiple things, as I was talking about member variables. So member variables means if I have given a variable name like this, so this is my member variable. Along with this, if I write something like this, public void method 1, so this is my member method. This we normally call it as class members. So this is my variable. We are going to create a variable like this. We can also have a multiple type of variable that we will learn later on what exactly that means, which all kind of variables we can have. But as of now, consider this is your variable. And if we write something like this, method with a bracket sign and it has some body in it, we call it as a function, or you can say at member function. So this is a way we create a method inside a Java class. Also, whenever we write something, we want it to be called somewhere, or we are going to use it somewhere. So we do it inside a main method. So what exactly a main method means? If we write something like this, public static void main string args, and then we give this bracket, it means this is my main method. Inside this, we are going to do something. Now, before moving to what all we are going to create inside it, let's first understand what exactly these all keywords means and why we are writing this here. So, public. What exactly a public is? Public is your access modifier. We are going to talk in detail which all type of modifiers we have, but as of now, consider this is a access modifier which will tell us where we are going to use this method or how we are going to call this method. So public means it can be accessed from anywhere. Any class can have it, any project can have it, and within a class, any type of class can call this method. That is why this is a public method. Then we are using a static keyword, which will mean to call this method we don't need to create an object of the class. What we are doing is, this is also a main method that is there in some other class, in my object class. So as we are learning about class, what we are learning is, in a class I can have a variable and I can have a method. Now to access these variable and a method, I need to create an object of this class through which I am going to call them. But to call them or to create an object, I am using a main method. So this is also a method of some other class, but we are not creating an object of it, right? We are not creating anything to call this method. Simply we are writing public static void main, and we are good to go with this particular method. That is why this is a static, which means you don't need to create an object to access this method. Now void means this is a method return type. Return type means what my method is going to return. If I am returning something of int, string, or any other data type, I will mention that data type here. But if I am writing void, it means I am not returning anything. My method is not going to return anything. Then this is my method name, and this means I can have any number of argument in it. So this is the main structure of a main method. Now we know what exactly this main method is and how I'm going to put variable and the method function in it. So let's see how I can use and call this variable in it. So this is an example of a class. Now let's see how you can create an object of a class. So to create an object, what I have to do is, I have to write my class name, that is variables, and then this object name. Now I will call new variables. So what does this mean is, with this new keyword I am going to create an object of my variables class. So variable is a class. It is going to have an object with the name of var, and how I am deciding that it is an object, because I have given it with a new keyword. So if you are writing new like this, it means you are going to create an object of it. It is creating an object of my variable class. Now to access my method and the variable, what I will be doing is, I will do my variable name dot what I need to call. If I need to call my member variable, I'll just do this. If I need to call my method, I will do like this. So in this way I can call my member variable and the method function. Now to print it out, what exactly we are doing is, how to print a value. What I need to do is sysout. Sysout means system dot out dot print ln. If I do like this and put it inside it, it means I'm going to print the value of my variable. Similarly, if I am calling var.method1 means I am calling this method. If I also need to print something, let me show you that also. If I need to print something, my method should print something, I can put it here. Before that, let me show you what exactly this will print. See, it is printing 3. Why? Because inside my system.out.println, what I am doing is var.a, means I am creating an object of my variable class, and then I am calling this member variable which has the value 3. That is why it is printing variable.a, which is equals to 3. Now I am also calling this method 1. How I can check if my method 1 is getting called or not? Let me put one sysout inside it. So sysout means it is a way of printing something. So if I put, it also has different ways of doing it. I'll also explain what this method means. And now if I call this, it is printing 3 because first I have printed var.a, then I am calling var.method1, which is calling my method 1, and it is printing method 1 is called. Clear? Now let's understand what this sysout statement means, why we are using it like this. So system means, system is a class. Always remember, whenever we create any class in Java, we have a naming convention, which means it is going to be a camel case. Camel case means it is going to start with a capital letter, then all small. So whenever we are having any class in Java, we will create it like this. Here also see, this is also like this, system, which means system is a class which has a member variable I called out, and then it has a method println. So if you see the statement also of it, the standard output stream, this stream is already open and ready to accept output. This is the method description of my out. So it means system is a class which contains my out method. It has this out method, and then this out object has a println method which is a void type, and it required some input in it, means it has some parameter. So it is going to print like this. So in this way, whenever you want to print something, you can use this sysout, and in this way you can create an object of your class and call your variable and its method. So if you like this concept, this is the very first class of our series. This is a very basic and the starting concept of classes and objects. So if you like this video, do like and subscribe our channel, and be ready for other topics. And in the next series, we are going to talk about OOPS paradigm, that is your abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. We are going to talk in detail about them, and we also call it as a OOPS pillar. So we will learn more about them in the next session. So stay tuned. Bye.